Hey, what's up, Aaron here? Hope you're doing well. If you're watching this video right now, you might be checking out Healthy You Vending, and you're wondering, is this a legit opportunity? Should you be starting a vending machine business if you're based in the US? And is this a good way to build income in a business, right? There's so many different ways to build businesses these days. Let's look at if this is legit and whether this is a good use of your time, all right? Now, at any time, if you want to find out my favorite way to get to $5,000 to $10,000 a month, 100% from home, you don't even have to leave your house, go ahead and click the link below and I'll send you that strategy straight to your email for free if you would like to check that out, all right? Now, I've reviewed hundreds of different business models, online and offline, all sorts of different make money online websites, different strategies. I'm just very interested in creating income, right? And generating cash flow through a vending machine business is actually a very, very interesting proposition, right? So let's take a look at Healthy You Vending to see whether this is a good way to really generate income and build a really big residual income style business, right? So first of all, I want to say that these guys have been around for a very long time, and it's a very cool looking business, right? The thing about vending machines, which is really nice, just kind of like ATM machines, ATM, card reading machines, things like that. It is one of those businesses where it's almost like a profit center if you do it correctly, right? So basically, if you were to have a vending machine and you were to put it in a good location and people are actually buying from your machine, this is actually a very, very cool way to generate income. And there are all sorts of offline business models like that, right? So let's take a look at, specifically Healthy You Vending to see whether this is a good way to do it, right? Now, first of all, you have to understand that they are obviously going to charge you a premium. Why are they charging you a premium? Because these guys are an established brand, right? It's created by Jeff Marsh. They were created in 1999. And the nice thing about Healthy You is they focus on healthy choices. So with a lot of other vending machines, that might be doing like soda or junk food, chips and snacks and stuff like this, these guys focus on healthy stuff only, which is really cool because the way that the world is going is that people are getting healthier and healthier, right? And a lot of vending machines out there actually don't have healthy options. So if you decide to start a vending machine business, going down the healthy route is actually pretty smart, right? That's actually a good strategy to do, okay? But because of that, because these guys have been doing it for a while, and because they're going to be helping you to set up your vending machines, okay? It comes at a premium. This is not a cheap business, all right? But what they do is, let me just go through the business concept for you to, take a look at this, right? So you invest in the machines. They're going to help you to find the right locations in your area, in your town, in your suburb, right? They'll do all that for free. They'll help you to deliver the machines. And what you really have to do is you have to basically stock the machines, service the machines, and check your sales and make sure that they're full every single week, every single day, that kind of thing, right? And then as you grow and you scale, you can potentially reinvest more money to buy more machines, and that's how you would scale. So it's quite a slow scale initially because of the cost, because it does take a little bit of time. But in terms of the idea and the strategy, it's pretty cool because vending machines, if they're in the right locations, if they're in the wrong locations, they're not going to make you money, right? It's all about the right location to have the right flow of foot traffic so that people actually stop and buy and spend at your vending machine. It's almost like having a little 7-Eleven, if that makes sense, in different locations. And the cool thing is you don't necessarily have to hire employees if you don't want to. Later on, if you want to, you can hire employees to go and check the machines and service the machines. But initially, if you want to, you can do all of that yourself, okay? Can be quite a lot of work, all right, right at the beginning, but just like any business, it does require you to hustle a little bit, all right? So what you're going to do right here is you are going to, monitor the vending machine, okay? Maximize it, stock it with the right products. You're going to have to refill your vending machines, like I mentioned earlier, and then you can expand it later to more locations, which will cost a lot more money, right? So the nice thing that I like about these guys is that their vending machines are really nice, okay? So they've been doing this for a long time, since 1999, right? So they've got digital tracking, they've got e-managing vending software, they've got great graphics, their machines look really good, and that helps you to sell. If your machines look old and they don't pop, then it's almost like you're not going to be attracting people, but they've got really attractive machines, which is really cool, right? Smartphone technology payment, you can monitor it, alerts, like very, very modern vending machines, which I think is really awesome, okay? And in terms of the products that you can choose a lot of products. right? So again, this is up to you to decide. You can choose the different types of snacks and drinks. They've got mini meals, things like that. Product cycling, wellness products. They've got a lot of different options for you to actually choose, which I think is really, really cool. Again, wellness products from a vending machine, right? Pretty awesome, right? And then what they do is they support you. Okay, so location procurement, they've got a 2-day university, and then they've got their lifetime coaching that will help you to do this as well. So pretty cool. They don't charge any royalties. So a lot of this has to do with upfront cost, right? So the big question is how much is this going to cost you? All right. Well, depending on how many vending machines you want, it's going to cost you at the minimum $55,000 all the way up to about $225,000 to start. So it's not cheap. Okay, this is a traditional business model. Just understand that building a vending machine business is just like starting a restaurant, or it's like starting a hair salon, or it's like starting a supermarket, or it's like starting a consultancy business, right? You have to put in money into the business, and because it's traditional, it's very, very expensive. Now, unfortunately, most of the people, if you're watching this video right now, a lot of people that are going to watch this video don't have $55,000 to over $200,000 lying around. They require you to have that liquid cash, which means that you either have to have that in the bank already, or you have to be willing to take a loan from a bank, right, and somehow have some sort of collateral to be able to pay the bank back. And not everybody is going to be qualified for that. That's how traditional business works. Now, out of a traditional business, if you want to call it, I think that starting a vending machine business is pretty cool. All right. Why? Because, to be honest, it's a lot less work than other traditional businesses, like starting a restaurant, like starting a cafe, like starting a hair salon. You don't really have to hire employees initially, right? You don't have to be there all the time. It's kind of like automated in the sense that they're kind of like profit centers, right? You stick them in a location, they kind of work themselves, kind of like ATM machines, right? ATM machines is also kind of a offline business that is very strategic, and it's very similar to this, right? People go, they spend money, they buy product. You just have to monitor, maintain, and refill them, and make sure that the location is correct. And that's really how you make money. But having said that, it is still an offline business, and the machines are expensive. And obviously, Healthy You is charging you a premium for all the additional stuff that they do, like location procurement, like training you, like the additional lifetime coaching, and of course, the machines are premium as well. Okay, so they're charging you for all of that. So if you have $200,000 extra lying around, then maybe the vending machine business can be something that is viable. I think it's a pretty cool option, to be honest, right? So if you have the budget for it, over the long term, a vending machine business can potentially make you back a lot of money, because it's kind of like residual or passive income, right? You set it up as long as your location is good. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of work that you need to do, and you could get the locations wrong. Right? It's all about location, location, location. So just because you have a 7-Eleven franchise or a McDonald's franchise doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to get into profit, right? A lot of it has to do with your location. So just like a vending machine business, if your locations are wrong, maybe you're not going to generate as much income. Now, of course, you can change locations and stuff like that, but that will take time. Okay, so just understand that if you're thinking of investing in this kind of, this style of business, $50,000 to $200,000, it's going to take you a while to make that money back. All right, it will take you at least, probably 6 months to a year, which is very, very normal for these types of businesses to break even and make your money back. But potentially, if you have a long-term view, is this a cool business? For an offline business, it's pretty cool. All right. Now, the big problem is the cost. A lot of people aren't going to be able to invest in this style of business because it's just too expensive. Very few people have $55,000 to $225,000 lying around, right? And that's really the problem with business. So I would say that if you do have that budget, it's a pretty cool option that you might want to check out. There is a premium on it, but with that premium comes a lot of safety. Okay, so you just have to understand that. Now, you can start a vending machine business without necessarily going to a branded company like Healthy You Vending. Okay, you could get cheaper vending machines, you could find your own locations, you can hustle, you can learn how to do that. All right, and there are options to do that, right? You can do it on the cheap if you want to, right? But you're obviously not going to get very nice vending machines. You're not going to get all the software and all that stuff. You're not going to get the training. You're not going to get all that stuff, right? So there are disadvantages to not going with a company like this, but there are advantages too. It's going to be cheaper, all right? But you're still taking on a lot of risk, because with business comes risk. There's no guarantee, all right? So what I would say is that the vending machine business is very viable as an offline business. I think Healthy You is a cool company, but it comes at a premium, right? So if you have the money for it, and budget is not really an issue, this is definitely something that you could try out, all right? But here's the other thing as well, right? If you're watching this video, maybe you are looking for a way to generate income and you don't know how. Maybe you want to start a business, right? And my question to you is, why would you start an offline traditional business like vending machines when you could go online, when you could sell to the world instead of just selling to your town or city, right? The thing about Healthy You is they're only based in the US. And the thing about vending machines, even though it's a very cool concept and you can create these little profit centers, you're still limited by how many machines that you have, and you're still limited by the area where those machines are, right? But if you build an online business, there's so many advantages. Number one, you don't just sell to your community, you sell to the world. Okay, so your scale is so much bigger. You don't have to be limited by the sales that you generate in your city or town or street or even country. You can sell to the entire country, hundreds of countries all around the world. That's the first advantage of going online. The second advantage of going online is you can create a lot of leverage, right? You can leverage paid ads, you can leverage organic ads, you can leverage social media platforms, you can leverage software, and you can leverage tools so that you don't have to be there all the time. You can leverage videos, webinars. These things sell for you constantly, whether you're sleeping, whether you're sick, whether you're traveling, whether you decide that you don't want to work, today or not, right? That's the second advantage. And the third advantage is that it's much, much more affordable to start an online business compared to an offline business. Why? Because online is just leaner. Everything, you don't have to buy an expensive machine. This is a great concept for an offline business, but the reality is that buying a machine costs money. I mean, if you want to buy a vending machine like this, it costs a lot of money to manufacture something like that, right? Whereas if you start something online, you don't have these costs of manufacturing a big physical product. Does that make sense, right? And the potential to earn is sometimes there or even much higher than starting an offline business, right? So if you are here watching this video and you're thinking of starting a business, but you don't know what, right? You're in research mode. You're trying to figure out, should you start an Airbnb business? Should you start a vending machine business? Should you start an ATM business, right? Or should you maybe start an online business, right? I highly recommend that you think of starting something online, because the scale is bigger, you can make potentially more money, the passive income is there because of leverage and tools and systems, right? And it's much, much more affordable. You don't need anywhere close to $55,000 to $200,000 to start a business. I mean, how many people have that kind of money lying around, right? So if you would like my favorite way to get to $5,000 to $10,000 US dollars every single month to start, and then you can scale to $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 if you obviously build this over the long term, right? If you would like that strategy, go ahead and click the link below and I'll send you that strategy for free straight to your email. You can check that out if you would like. All right. I hope you enjoyed this review of Healthy You Vending. Great little option if you want to start a traditional business. Obviously, it comes with caveats and stuff like that, but pretty cool nonetheless, right? So I hope you enjoyed this review of this, and I hope to see you on another video review. Take care and speak to you soon.